Daniel Jeremiah, who I'm, from the NFL Network, who's one of the best talent evaluators out there. And certainly, when we sit him next to Mayock on the draft set, it's great with him and Charles Davis. He tweeted out last night, "This Drew Brees tape versus the Eagles is one of the most impressive QB performances I've ever studied. There are 10 to 12 ridiculous throws." Is Brees any different? You saw him on Saturday night. I mean, he's a GOAT, but he seems to be GOAT plus this year, Peter.
One of the things that we talked about is Pro Football Focus did a little bit of work for me on Brees, and they said the amount of throws he has been making, and this was before Sunday because it didn't really apply to Sunday, the amount of throws he is making to what they call wide open receivers who have at least 2 steps or more on the man who's in prime coverage on him, is the most in the league and far more than he had last year for whatever reason. Maybe they're designing plays better, who knows. But Brees made 2 or 3 throws yesterday that you say, how did that fit in there? And the amazing thing is the great day he had, his completion percentage went down. It's insane.
It is insane.
He was 5 points ahead of anybody who ever played the game through 10 weeks, 5 percentage points. And how about this stat, Rich? His lifetime completion percentage is 67.3, and his completion percentage this year is 77.
It's unbelievable.
It's just everything about him is insane. And I'll say this, just let me take you one little peek behind the curtain. The respect during this 40-minute meeting right at the end of Saturday night, ended about 10:40. The respect that flows from him to Peyton and back and forth. I counted like 46 plays that Brees, when he looked at the game plan, he goes, "This is what I want to run." And Peyton did not disagree with a single one of them. And he put little Sharpie dots on his game plan sheet. And I don't know how many of those he actually ran, but Peyton walked out of there and he said to me, he goes, "I'm in total agreement with him." That's what happens when you are one with the guy who plays quarterback and the guy who coaches. That's one of the strengths. It's why for years we've all said, hey, why have the Steelers had only 3 coaches in a half century? Because if you know you got the right guy and you're able to basically weather a couple of stormy years, say in the middle of it, like the Steelers did with Cowher, I think he had a 6-10 year, and then the next year he wins the Super Bowl. Because if you change coaches, then what happens is the whole organization basically has to start from ground zero, and you're behind. In the AFC East, 24 coaching changes since Bill Belichick took the Patriots job. So do you wonder why nobody in the AFC East can build up any sort of momentum to be able to beat the Patriots? That's a huge reason why.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.